Good evening, everybody. Looks like the internet outage is over. I was actually a part of that towards the end. It was odd because we had internet most of the day. We, as in my house, not here. We had it here all day. But towards my dinner break, it went out. Maybe they were just trying to get it figured out. Yeah, nice warm beds out there. It's going to get a lot colder. About a week from the day, we've got a big Arctic cold front coming in. And it is going to bring about a big change, 25 to 30 degrees in the morning for Veterans Day. Veterans Day looks nice, though. Just, we're 8 days out from that. But it does look nice. I think we're going to be all right. Just a reminder for those of you who are YouTube TV subscribers who went to Fubo for sports this weekend to cancel your subscription if you desire. I hate to see you forget that and get charged $100. I got to go do that. In fact, I'll do that after this, before the 10 o'clock news, because I think it's only 5 days. There was an interesting discussion I found, and through all of this, I figured out dry all week out. You haven't missed much, Tegan. We've got rain coming Friday. We're going to talk about that. But an interesting perspective on my TV watching. It seems like we have so many apps out there we're watching. Some of you are probably watching the app right now. So I've got Netflix, I've got Paramount. I've got just about all of them that you can get. And somebody was, and I realized during all of this outage with YouTube TV that I only watch YouTube TV for sports. And they pretty much got me for NFL Sunday Ticket. But man, it's $100 a month, and I don't like spending $100 a month on something I don't watch a lot. So somebody was telling me, you could do this, I forget which service it was, but you can actually pay per day. And I'll figure it out. And somebody may comment on that, but you can do it per day. And it's like $6 a day. I'm like, I'm just going to start doing that on weekend to watch my sports. And even my wife, she watches a lot of the Netflix and the series, stuff like that. So again, there's so much stuff on there we don't watch, and you guys know it. So let's get into this, because we're here to watch the weather. Why else are you here, right? So it's quiet out there tonight, 45 degrees. We're going to see some patchy fog probably out there during the morning hours, mainly on area lakes. We had more fog out in the shoals earlier today, and we check on that. Not much going on, but that's one of our area lakes. You can kind of see a little haze off in the distance there. I think that's out towards Nitrate City. We always have a little bit of haze over there. I'm not sure exactly what they do. Yeah, I mean, especially this time of year, everything's going on. I noticed someone's comment about they canceled the subscription, but I mean, they all have agendas. They all have, they all need to make money, but we as consumers need to figure out how to best use that money, I guess. That's the best way, because some services are great, but, it's a cost. It all comes at a cost. It's already 42 degrees in Fort Payne. You'll get down into the 30s tonight. Everyone's probably going to get down around 39. The reason I want to show you this graphic here is because you see the air mass is not terribly cold as you get to the north. So what's going to happen is this air is going to modify over the coming days. We're going to be in the 70s. So the rest of the week looks good until we get to Friday. More comments here, Thursday night. Yeah, that's the other thing about NFL. It's in so many different places now. You've got Amazon on Thursday. There's been an overseas game Sunday morning. You wake up 9 a.m. and football's already on, and 2 Monday night games sometimes. So the NFL Sunday Ticket has less and less appeal, so to speak. So again, this is probably the last year I get that too, because I often find myself, I've got out in the garage, I built that man cave, but we'll find other ways. Find other ways. We do that as humans, don't we? Here's your satellite radar. Nothing over the southeast. Beautiful moon out there tonight. A few high clouds in the high plains. No rain, but there's the snow. There's the winter weather lovers. Oh, thanks, sissy. My buddy up in Lewiston, Idaho, he's got a cold rain going on there. He's just south of Spokane, but this is when I'm usually coming home from a fishing trip to Idaho, and I beat the cold weather and the snow, and look forward to that next year, hopefully. The mud's starting to dehydrate. Yeah, I'm hoping to get my I'm going to probably go to Robin Rents and rent me a excavator, another one, to bury my drain line to the drive. See, I poured my driveway and it's at a slope. I haven't poured it yet, but when I pour it, I got to make a drain in front so we don't flood the garage. We don't want to do that. No chance of raining. See, the challenge is for construction is you got to figure out, we've got rain coming in Friday. And this time of year when it gets cold, it doesn't dry out as fast sometimes. So you get 3 kind of days of mud out there. So I'm hoping Thursday will be a good day to do some digging. And we got rain coming in most of the late afternoon Friday. And then it gets cold, cold, cold. You know, Ian, this is my favorite time of season, though. I kind of like it when it gets cold and then it warms back up again, like we're going to see 70s coming our way. What I don't like is when we get into the 20s and we stay there. And every day is really, really cold. And I don't like the sun setting early. But I felt like I slept. I felt like a vampire. I felt like I slept forever this weekend. So let's go hour by hour through your Tuesday. We're talking 37 Scottsboro. Might see a touch of frost in some of those sheltered valleys, but the end of the growing season is coming a week from tomorrow. Well, actually, a week from tonight. The growing season will end. So whatever plants in your tomatoes, they're all going to die. That's fair warning. They're all going to die. Anything that's not meant to last through a hard freeze will not make it. You could bring it inside, I guess, take it back out. But yeah, what's the fun in that, right? That's work. Temperatures in the 60s out there by noon tomorrow. We're going to top out around 69. And then 74 Wednesday and Thursday. And this will also be, as we get into next Monday and Tuesday, I'll talk about that coming up. I'm going to talk about Friday's rain. We're going to take a commercial break here. That 1 minute slate you guys like to stare at. But we're going to talk about probably significant freeze coming, frost coming next week. And as I mentioned, the end of the growing season. But, you know, it's the beginning of severe weather season. So we'll talk about thunderstorm chances coming up for Friday right after the break. All right, break time is over. I had a question on here about the weather Saturday in Lexington. I assume Lexington, Kentucky. I think the weather's going to be okay. It's going to be colder, though. I mean, actually, it's not going to be too bad. This first front is from a Pacific air mass, so it's a cold front, but it's not going to really live up to its name. And as we go through here, this is the noontime Friday. Again, just keep checking back. This is the general idea on the setup Friday. It's going to change. The exact timing will change, but right now it looks like late morning into the afternoon. This rain may last all the way into Friday night, all the way through midnight into early Saturday morning. So right now this looks like rain. There's going to be some wind shear with this, and some of the sounding data would suggest a line echo wave pattern, which would have those spin-up tornadoes, EF0, EF1. We'll just wait and see what happens when we get better resolution in and when we get a better timing on this. We worry about that every time this year when you get a cold front, but this is not really a big cold front. There's not a real big change in pressure, and those always kind of, we'll see. SPC may put us out in a outlook tomorrow, and if that's the case, you're going to hear more about it on social media, but I'm still not going to ramp up any threat of severe weather yet, especially given we're this far out. Temperatures are in the 60s. The dew points are in the 50s. So there's a lot that needs to be overcome in order for us to get any significant or higher in threat of severe weather. This looks like typical run-of-the-mill, maybe line echo wave pattern if it gets its act together. But as we get into Saturday morning, I think a lot of this is over with. Yeah, we're going to get a lot more leaves falling, especially as we get into that big cold front Monday. Next Monday is going to be a little breezy, cooler. So Sunday night into Monday, that's our next front that comes in. And that's what's going to break the back of fall. That's when winter starts knocking. So Tuesday's high of 53, that's Veterans Day. The wind shouldn't be too bad, but it's going to be chilly out there for the Veterans Day parade or any other veterans activities you're going to. The morning low is going to be about 25 to 29. It's going to be really cold for this time of year. And we're going to see the end of the growing season there. And the high only 52. Some of you may stay in the 40s. And then we climb back up to 62. So this is what we do this time of year. Each front that comes through, it kind of stair steps. This is called, you take one step forward, 2 steps back. The 1 step forward is 74 Wednesday and Thursday, and the 2 steps back is Monday, 54. So that's how it's going. Well, thanks, Tegan. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I got to do the radio. I think the pollen count's got my voice a little hoarse too. That, and I got into full character as Will Ferrell during my Halloween costume this weekend too. So I did a lot of yelling. So that's another reason I think my voice is suffering. I will see you guys later. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow night, 9:30.